Kenny Omega appears to be at risk of missing AEW World's End. The 40-year-old posted a photo of himself in a hospital bed to social media today. He wrote that he will be on the shelf indefinitely, but did not reveal a specific injury. Kenny Omega wrote, "I can't really sugarcoat this. I'm out indefinitely. I tried to keep pushing past the pain for as long as I could until it became too much. Luckily, doctors caught me when they did. I'll be here, so in the meantime, please enjoy wrestling." Fightful Wrestling has reported that they were told Kenny Omega had been ill throughout the last week, even ahead of his match with Ethan Page. He still did the match and the promos and sought medical attention after, where he was hospitalized and diagnosed with diverticulitis. The news comes just 15 days before the AEW World's End pay-per-view on December 30th. Omega is scheduled to team with Chris Jericho and challenge for the AEW World Tag Team titles against Ricky Starks and Big Bill on the show. Omega's last match was a win over Ethan Page on the December 5th AEW Collision taping in Montreal. WWE Raw could still end up on TNT or TBS. Negotiations between WWE and Warner Bros. Discovery were thought to be dead, but our own Dave Meltzer is reporting that CM Punk has potentially opened up what may have been a shut door. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said they would like to get close to $400 million, and that they're shopping it around, and Warner Bros. Discovery is obviously one of them. Punk's segment with Seth Rollins on Raw this week was by far the most watched quarter of the show, according to Brandon Thurston. It averaged 1.88 million viewers and a 0.62 in the 18 to 49 demographic, with the rest of the show averaging 1.47 million viewers and a 0.46 rating. Dave Meltzer also said, CM Punk opened up what may have been a shut door. How open that door is or what's going to transpire, I don't know, but Punk, he's a significant player, and that's one of the reasons he's going to be at the house show in Los Angeles this week. Everyone's headquarters is in LA, and I'm sure they are going to invite everyone they are courting there. CM Punk was announced for WWE house shows on December 26th at Madison Square Garden in New York and December 30th at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. He's advertised to wrestle Dominic Mysterio on both shows. Dave Meltzer went on to say that the current WWE regime is not as concerned with exclusivity in its TV rights deals. He noted that the deal for WWE NXT programming allows for the CW network to air other wrestling content as well. Warner Bros. Discovery has announced a new wrestling themed show will debut next month. Big Little Brawlers premieres January 9th, 2024 on the Discovery Network. The 6-part reality series will follow wrestlers from the Micro Wrestling Federation. Cody Rhodes believes that MJF will end up in WWE eventually. Cody appeared on the Michael K Show recently and was asked about his former rival and the current AEW World Champion. Cody noted that he is proud of MJF and believes fans will see him in a WWE ring one day. Cody Rhodes said, I think one day we will see MJF in WWE. For those who don't know, MJF was one of my recruits and probably the one I'm most excited about just because of his potential. His personality, his overall professionalism is beaming. Cody Rhodes believes that the muscle mass that MJF has added over the last year and a half would help him if he does decide to make the jump to WWE, saying, one thing I'm proud of him for doing is, if you notice, he's put on a lot of muscle, and he's put it on safely over the last year and a half, and when he does make that jump, I don't know when that is, but if he comes to WWE, you have to stand across from guys like Drew McIntyre, you have to stand across guys from like Omos or gosh, Brock Lesnar. Cody continued to suggest that MJF may have gained size in anticipation of eventually signing with WWE, saying, watching him grow physically, it seems like maybe he knows where his future lies. But really, your guess is as good as mine. I never bother him about it because I just want to remain the friends we've become today. One of the most decorated junior heavyweights of all time is now under contract with TNA Wrestling. It was announced that Kushida has signed a TNA Wrestling contract. He's regularly competed for the promotion since 2022 as part of Impact Wrestling's working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. In their announcement, TNA wrote that it's time for Kushida to take his career to the next level, and it happens in TNA Wrestling. The 40-year-old Kushida most recently competed for Impact this September, wrestling at Victory Road 2023 and the 1000th episode of Impact. Kushida was previously under contract with WWE from 2019 through 2022. When he returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling in June 2022, Kushida noted that he would continue to live in the United States. Kushida joined Trent Seven and Leon Slater as recent additions to the TNA roster. PCO has also re-signed with the company. And speaking of Trent Seven, I caught up with him in regards to his signing with TNA Wrestling. Here's what he had to say. And now you're about to embark in this new era, which is the return of TNA Wrestling. So with that being said, Trent, talk to us about the process and how everything went down in terms of you signing on board with TNA Wrestling. How did this all come about?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, you know, it's been a long year. So I think it's been about 15, 16 months since NXT UK kind of shut its doors and everything happened. And there's been a lot of peaks and a lot of troughs. I've been to a lot of places. I've wrestled for a lot of companies, made a lot of debuts. So when I look back at it over the course of, over a 15-month period, I'm incredibly proud of what I've done and where I've been and the level that I've performed at. Obviously, if you zoom in on certain months, there's a lot of months that are better than other months. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, I can look back at it overall as a time period in my career, with a lot of pride. I stuck to my guns. I kept going and I kept chugging along, and you have to spin a lot of plates as a freelance professional wrestler, and it was kind of like a bit of a baptism of fire going back into the independent scene. But I think the thing that I can take from it the most is just how hard everyone's been working on the independents and on the freelance scene to kind of keep everything going whilst we were away, or whilst I was away, with WWE and NXT. To come back and to see how they've kept things going and kept things afloat and given everyone a kind of still a position and a platform to perform on has been quite remarkable, really. And luckily, I've been able to stick myself back into that fold and perform with some of the best talent in the UK and the world. And now it's just worked out that communication is key, I suppose. And yeah, so conversation sparked probably, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you just got to bide your time and stay positive, and here we go. Final resolution last week, TNA this year. It's going crazy.
Impact Wrestling's name change back to TNA officially goes into effect starting at Hard to Kill on Saturday, January 13th. The pay-per-view is being held in Las Vegas. That's a wrap for this episode of The Latest. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check back here for lots more.